The last call. So, this happened to me about 2 years ago, and to this day I still can't explain it. At the time, I was working the night shift at a small call center in my city. The building was old and mostly empty at night. Usually there were 3 or 4 people working, but one evening a huge storm hit the area and everyone left early. I decided to stay and finish my shift. That's when the phone on my desk rang. I looked at the screen. It said, "Unknown number." "Hello." For a few seconds, there was nothing but static. Then I heard a woman whisper, "Please help me." I thought maybe someone was in trouble. The woman sounded terrified. She said, "He's coming." And then the call ended. Honestly, I thought it was some kind of prank. Weird, sure, but not enough to scare me. About 10 minutes later, the phone rang again. Same number. I answered immediately. Before I could say anything, the woman whispered, "He's inside." I laughed nervously and asked, "Who's inside?" There was a long pause. Then she said, "The building." I felt a chill run down my spine. I looked around the office. Everything seemed normal. Then I glanced down the hallway. And I swear I saw someone standing there. A tall figure. Completely motionless. I blinked. The figure was gone. Now I was starting to feel uneasy. I got up and walked through the office to make sure nobody else was there. Every room was empty. The bathrooms were empty. The break room was empty. There was nobody in the building except me. A little later, I decided to check the security cameras. Everything looked normal except one camera. The hallway where I'd seen the figure. That screen was filled with static. As I stared at it, the image suddenly changed. A woman's face appeared. Dark eyes. She was staring directly into the camera. I froze. Then her lips moved. Even though there were no speakers connected, I somehow heard her whisper. "Behind you." My heart nearly stopped. Nobody was there. When I looked back at the monitor, her face was gone. The screen was black. At that point I decided I was leaving. I grabbed my keys and ran to the main entrance. But the door wouldn't open. Nothing. I swiped my access card. Still nothing. That's when every phone in the office started ringing. All at once. The sound echoed through the entire building. Ring. 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 I can't even describe how terrifying it was. Then suddenly all the lights went out. The building went completely dark. I pulled out my phone and turned on the flashlight. And that's when I heard footsteps. Slow footsteps. Coming from somewhere behind me. Step. 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 I turned my flashlight toward the hallway. The footsteps stopped. Then my flashlight landed on something. Someone was standing at the end of the corridor. The same tall figure. Except this time it was much closer. I couldn't make out its face. It was just a dark shape standing perfectly still. Then it started walking toward me. Slowly. I ran. I don't even remember where I was going. I just ran. The footsteps followed me the entire time. No matter where I went, they stayed behind me. Always getting closer. Finally I reached the security room and locked the door. The footsteps stopped outside. For several seconds everything was silent. Then my desk phone rang. The phone inside the security room. I stared at it. But eventually I did. The same woman was on the line. Her voice sounded calmer now. I whispered, "Who is he?" There was silence. Then she replied. The thing that killed me. My blood ran cold. Before I could say anything else, I heard a loud bang against the security room door. Then another. And another. The metal door began shaking. I hid under the desk and covered my mouth. The banging continued for what felt like forever. Then suddenly it stopped. Complete silence. A few minutes later, the power came back on. The phone stopped ringing. The building was quiet again. I waited nearly an hour before leaving the room. When I finally stepped outside, everything looked normal. The storm had ended. The police searched the building after I called them. They didn't find anyone. Not a single person. The strange thing is what happened a week later. One of the officers investigating the incident contacted me. She had been working alone on a night shift. Just like me. I never went back. But every now and then, usually around midnight, my phone rings from an unknown number. He's still there. And then the line goes dead.